Hi everyone and welcome to Friday's yoga. I'm Uma and
Lee.
this is Lee, and we'd like you to join us in, what are we going to do today?
The breath. We're going to work with the breath.
Breath is always good to work with.
Breath is sort of central to life, obviously, but central to yoga. There's an entire science known as pranayama, which we'll be looking at, or there's another science, anapanasati, in the Pali tradition. I won't go into that right now. We'll get started. Please let us know you're here by tapping on the screen and giving us a hello or a how you going, or just a heart or a thumbs up, just so we know there's still someone else out there.
And let us know where you're watching from. We're just delighted to see that there are people from all over Australia. We've got people from Thailand. So wherever
India.
you are, New Zealand, thank you for joining us.
Yes, so I think we should get started. And if you've got any questions, put them in the box afterwards, and we'll spend some time after we've finished and answer all your questions. We'll get back to you, I promise. So I'd like you to rest on your backs to start, please.
Let's begin.
And that's really just to check in. Really just to check in, so that bring yourself into this moment. Feeling the contact between the back of your head and the floor. Shoulders and the floor. Or your bed, or your chair. Hips, buttocks. The length of your legs. And the pressure under your heels. Let's calibrate right at the beginning. How is your breath right now? Take a long, slow, deep breath in, as if you were trying to remember what that's like. And we'll try it again at the end and see if we've done anything helpful. Was that it? Was that your long breath in? Great. Hands interlaced behind your head. And taking a breath in, with your out breath, lifting the head and looking down the midline of your body. Inhaling back down. And going back and forth a few times like that. You know how we move unconsciously almost all the time? Are you doing that now? Where are your elbows? What if they were somewhere else? What if they were out to the side? What difference would that make to the movement? Elbows forward, elbows out, chin up, chin down. Exploring how your lumbar spine comes to the floor each time you lift the head. Exhaling up, inhaling down.
You could even begin to breathe out more, to extend that exhalation more.
Should look that way when you talk, so that the voice carries, I believe.
Apologies. You could even begin to extend that exhale now as you breathe out that little bit further.
So breathing in normally and breathing out further than normal. That doesn't mean you have to do the just a little bit further than normal. Off to the side, off to the other side, and then rest back on your mat again. Would you have right hand or your left hand? Would you have one hand on your chest and one hand on your lower abdomen? And take a moment to feel, where is your breath? Can you feel it at all? And you might not be able to yet. As you breathe in, can you feel your abdomen? Can you fill it with air? And as you breathe out, let it go. So you're trying to make a sort of pot belly as you breathe in. And relax as you breathe out. And as I've said before, this is how you used to breathe as a child, as a toddler. Breathing in, belly rises. Breathing out, belly falls. Then see if you can breathe in and make your chest rise. So you can do that by pulling the tummy in as you breathe in. Feel that? Breathing in, pulling the tummy in, and your chest will rise. Can you breathe in, make your chest rise, breathe out, make your belly rise? I'm exaggerating for effect. Breathing in, chest rises. You might not be able to do this for very long at a time, so be gentle with yourself. And let that go now. Arms down by your side a little bit more. And as you inhale, float the arms up onto the floor above your head, or if they won't go, just to the ceiling instead. And breathing out. And the idea here is more to coordinate the movement and breath, inhaling up. And you see how you use your mind to coordinate the breath with the arms. What if you were to let your breath decide when the arms lifted, how far they went? Tuning into your breath. And when to come back, your breath decides when it goes out. Wonderful. One more time, inhale up, letting the breath decide how long you stay there and when you come down. Fantastic. Now draw your knees up so your feet are flat. Have your feet quite wide apart. And start to tilt the knees from side to side. Breathing in through the middle, breathing out to the side. And repeat a few times. Pause now and again and feel what is stretching. Is it the legs? Is it the hips? Is it the shoulders? Is it the head? Where are you feeling this? And do you feel it in the same place on the other side? And then come back to center, please. And we're going to draw the knees up above your chest, wrapping the, hello Bodhi, wrapping the hands around the legs. And just, maybe you could rock a little bit left and right. This is to help any lumbar tension, any problems with the lower back. This is a sort of default go-to posture for that. Womb. This is called womb. Have the knees a little bit apart and start to, actually, we better safeguard the neck, hands again behind the head. And as you breathe out, we'll draw everything together and back, feeling how the lumbar spine flattens, pushes down into the mat. If you've got no neck issues, you could do this holding onto the knees. If you've got neck issues, then please do it like this. But no neck problems, hold on to the knees. This is pulling into womb position and tuck the chin in first. You could do this with the knees together, into womb and back. You could do it with the knees apart, which is sort of womb with a view, if you like, and back. Fantastic. And I'd like to do one more behind the head so there's no tension left in the neck. Exhale up. Inhale down. Actually leave one hand behind the head and catch hold with the opposite leg, with the opposite hand. Is that too complicated? Hold on behind the knee if you would. One hand behind the head, supporting the head, and the opposite leg above the chest. And as you bring those together, the foot flat on the floor, and as you bring those together, we're going to semi-straighten the leg. Working, always good to release the sciatic nerve, and only go as straight as you are comfortable with. If you push, not all that useful, not for this anyway. And Uma's going to rotate the ankle, twist through the toes, knowing the tendons connect all the way up into the lower back and forth with that. So normally we do this on one side and then do it on the other side, so you get a strong sense of the difference between the two sides. So would you pause for a moment and slide your legs long? Now this is a bit more subtle. You'll feel that one shoulder is lower than the other, but the opposite buttock. Can you feel that? Or is it just as it was before? So whatever you did, we'll swap and do the same thing on the other side, which is knees up, feet flat, semi-supine. And the other knee above the chest. Exhale up, inhale down. Tuning into your breath, exhaling up, inhale. And when you exhale up, you might want to breathe out a little bit more than you did before. So, you know, we always hold 1 liter of air in our lungs. Even when we breathe out completely, there's always some stale air, which is like stale thoughts, stale habits. So if you breathe out a little bit further, then you take in more oxygen, more prana, more ki, however you want to think of it. One more time, please. And then we'll leave the knees back on the floor and take a rest, either with knees up or legs long, whichever is more comfortable for you. Would you again have one hand on the upper chest and one hand on the lower abdomen? And as you breathe in, fill the belly. And as you breathe out, raise the chest. Breathing in, fill the belly. Breathing out, raise the chest. That's a bit difficult, I know. And the only way you can raise the chest is to pull your tummy in. Does that make sense? Breathing in, inflate the belly. Breathing out, pull the belly in, which will inflate the upper chest. We're working with the diaphragm, which is a set of muscles, which is like a large sheet of muscle across here. And as it moves down, it creates a vacuum in your lungs, which pulls the breath in. Over time, we start to breathe, think, and move habitually. So we're going to change the habits of the breath, the habits of the mind, and you'll find it sort of changes everything in time. That's enough, I think. Let's go further with this. Would you mind rolling onto your tummy, please? Take your time, no rush. And this isn't that comfortable, I get that, but the changes you can make are incredible. Now I know some of you, this is going to be awkward because you have breasts. Am I allowed to say breasts? So what can you do if you have breasts? Yeah, or the elbows alongside you can do it like that as well. Best if you can lay down, but if it's too uncomfortable, I get it. Could you go flat, darling? As you breathe in, can you push the tummy in to the floor? Breathing out, just relax. Breathing in, press the tummy. You're filling the tummy like a balloon, and it's got nowhere to go, so it's going to come out sort of sideways. The tummy, you're going to stretch the diaphragm sideways, and you're going to stretch the diaphragm, the back of the diaphragm, because normally that would take that pressure, but because you're lying and you're pushing the tummy into the floor, that's going to change the diaphragm. Let's change that and have, breathing in, press the chest into the floor. Relax. Breathing in, press the chest And to do that, you need to pull the tummy in. Do whatever. If you start to go dizzy, stop. Come back when you're ready. I'm going a bit dizzy, so I'll stop. Okay. Well, while we're in this position, let's come into Sphinx. So the elbows directly under your shoulders. I reckon you could come forward an inch, you know? Your elbows? No, your elbows. And the fingers spread wide, which causes the tendons to open the chest wide. And lift the head as if it's sort of, you're a bit posh. Lift the nose a little bit. Very slowly look over one shoulder. You won't be able to go far. Okay, and look over the other shoulder. Keep quiet, Bodhi. It's fine. We're safe. What are you doing? I think I just put him. Come here. Come here. We're safe. Thank you. Looking over one shoulder. Now you see Uma's looking sort of down and over her shoulder. Can you not? Can you look up and over your shoulder? You won't be able to look as far. In fact, you might not be able to move hardly at all. That's it. As you look over this shoulder, bend this knee and draw it up towards you at the same time. And then slide it back again and do the same thing on the other side. So you're looking over the shoulder and you're like dragging the knee up. And back in, we're releasing tension through the pelvis. That's it. And how are you breathing with this? Inhale. Work out what's best for you. And then pause back in Sphinx position again, and from there come up onto all fours, please. Walk your knees in. Okay, good. Knees directly under the hips, hands directly under the shoulders. And as you inhale, going to lift the head, look up towards the ceiling, and as you breathe out, tucking the chin in and pressing, can I touch your back? Here, in between the thoracic curve, and then inhaling up. In your own sweet time, going backwards, and if you're the aerobic type, you could speed this up as dramatically as you like. But Uma's not going to do that.
Out,
yeah.
as much as possible.
Breathing out as much as possible. Got a temple guard dog. That lot of good is, babe. Okay. And then sink your hips down towards your heels and rest your forehead on your fists. This is a release for the lumbar spine, for your lower back. And if you're pretty flexible, you could slide the hands forward. If you've been doing this for a while, you could slide the hands alongside your body into a child position. Feel how it's difficult to breathe here. What if you were to extend the breath a little bit anyway? Excellent. So I'd like you, I think we'll do that movement where we go from all fours into cobra and then back into child. Inhaling. Okay, back first then. Through all fours. Inhaling, looking up towards the ceiling. Exhaling all the way back. Now, be kind to yourself here. That means you can rest the hips on the floor as you bend the elbows backwards, not out to the side. But if you want to work harder, you could keep your hips off of the floor so the weight stays in the shoulders all the way there and all the way back. Now Nice to get good responses. It's fantastic. One more time. Inhaling forward. Pause there. Bend the knees so both feet are up in the air. Pulling up. Okay, wonderful. And then come back to rest on your tummy again. Comfortable for you here on your tummy, but I still want you, and I get this isn't very comfortable, but it's so amazing, as you'll find out. Breathe in and expand the tummy again. Breathe out, relax. Breathe out. I know this feels like work, but it's changing habits. Maybe this is an opportunity to change habits. Then, with each in-breath, we're going to expand the chest. You could do that easily by just pulling the tummy in as you breathe in. Breathing in, tummy in, chest. So we've got this going, but against the floor. Okay, let's look, while we're here, I know that lower back pain is an endemic problem in our culture. The best way to build up the musculature of your lower back, and again this is not for everyone, but you simply lift both legs off the floor and the head and chest off the floor, and the arms off the floor, and the chin's a little bit tucked in. I know classically it isn't, but let's look after our necks. And the best way to, so this is uncomfortable, come down again please. How do, well I'll just tell you, you can increase this benefit by a factor of between 5 and 10 by coming up or holding a pose and then using what's called a Kapalabhati, or breath of fire. And it's, you know the reflex you get when a mosquito goes up your nose, you know that? It's that, if the mosquito was on a piece of elastic and kept going back. It's so come into this position, the locust position, and chin slightly tucked in, and this throws out oxygen, obviously. So, throws out carbon dioxide, obviously, oxygenates the blood, and you get a lot more benefit from very short holding periods. And all the way back down, thank you. You might be a bit dizzy. Hands under the shoulders. And lift the hips all the way back down into child position again. And rest the head on the fists or in front or alongside, whatever works best for your body. Aware of listening. Of listening. And now of breathing. Okay, great. Come to sitting, kneeling, whatever. And we've had a lot of requests for some chair yoga. So I will promise to do an entire class on chairs next week. Early next week. First half of next week.
And please let us know if you have any other requests. Any parts of the body, anything that you'd like to work on or release, and we'd love to hear from you.
So we've worked with the front of the diaphragm, we've worked with the back of the diaphragm. Let's, can you remember that?
Opening up the side, those little intercostal muscles, they tend to, as we get older, they tend to stick together. And the lungs are not allowed to fill as much as they're actually capable of filling. So, yes, let's do this one.
So we'll start really easy. And we'll just,
So we can just get comfortable sitting.
yeah, kneeling, sitting. I'm just gonna, now what you can do, you can lean forward, you can cheat, but you won't be able to go as far. But keep everything very straight. Instead of how far can I go, your focus is where does this stretch me? And you want to feel it down here.
So you can use the other hand for support.
You can use the hand behind, you could use it to the side, but this is strong on the neck, and classically you'd look up towards the ceiling each time. But you might want to keep your head forward to start. And here, breathe in and pull the tummy in. Breathe out and let it go. Breathe in, pull the tummy in. Breathe out, let it go. Then we'll do a couple of breathe in, expand the belly. Breathe out, relax. And let's take it across to the other side. Breathe in, pot belly. Breathe out, let it go. And then breathe in, pull the tummy in. And you feel that starts to stretch through. This is where your diaphragm contacts the side of your body. Breathe in, tummy in, shoulders back. And you're looking for stretch, you're looking for stretch here, not how far you can go down. You're looking for economy of breathing. Breathing in, pull the tummy in now. Breathing out, let it go. Okay. I would say we'll go further into the diaphragm as we go on in the next however long we keep going.
Good to actually release the shoulders after that.
It is.
And take them around in circles.
Or
really draw them up.
one shoulder going in one direction and one going in the opposite direction.
Now you're just showing off.
I'm not showing off. I'll do it the other way as well.
That one's tricky.
So I'll rest for a moment, get a sense of the sitting bones. Let your breath, if you leave your breath alone, it will come to rest. And in a moment, I want you to breathe out a little bit, but then again, take a long, slow, deep breath in and see if you've got more to play with now. So you've released parts of the tension that's habitually held in the diaphragm, so your natural breath from here on in will be deeper. What that means is your mind will be a bit clearer. Your stress will be less, because it looks like stress is where we all are right now, and anxiety is the new normal, and we're all going through that. Stress is great in the short term because of the cortisol for fight, flight. Long term, not so much. Cortisol is the aging hormone. So the more you can let go of stress, the better your health will be, because stress is the biggest. You just have to look at the dog. Stress is the biggest cause of anxiety, and this is what depletes our immune systems. Not necessarily what's going around, although that's not great. I've found from my studies that the immune system, we need to keep it up, and stress doesn't help that. So your breath is the key. You can always breathe. You can always come home. You can always come home to your breath.
So what's a good thing to take away to be able to do over the weekend What can we do with our breaths that
Should we
at
do
any
something?
time we're feeling stressed?
Do something a bit yogic. We could do Anuloma Viloma.
Sure.
So, this is so good, this one. Use a finger lightly on one nostril, and you might need to get a tissue, check both sides, breath of fire, and pressing very lightly on the right side, although it might look the opposite way to you, the right nostril first, just very lightly. We're going to breathe in and out through the left nostril 3 times. Couple of sniffs. Close off the left nostril lightly, very lightly, and breathe in and out 3 times through the right. Right nostril, left brain. Wow, it's working already for me. Let it go, breath, couple of sniffs. We're going to breathe in through the left,
So close off the right.
close off the right, in through the left, swap sides, out through the right. Now classically, you do this like this, but you can do whatever works. In through one side, out through the other. In through this side, out through the other. In through the left, swap, out through the right. In through the right, out the other side. In one side, out the other. In that side, swap, out the other. Very light touch on the nose, please.
And so what is the benefit of doing this breath?
Well, you can feel, I could tell you what the benefits are, but hopefully you can feel how the mind calms down. So, yogic terms, we are always working with one side or the other. If you check your breath during the day, you'll find that one nostril is predominant. And in healthy people, that changes about every hour. In medical terms, it's called the cyclic breath, the cycle of breath. When we're swapping nostrils, what we're doing is we're bringing about a balance between the right and left hemispheres of the brain, between our male and female sides, between Ida and Pingala, to go a bit esoteric, and
So it's all about balance.
everything is about balance. And we
So-
should do a balance class.
Yes.
So people can
Yes.
standing class of
Yes.
balance, how to stay balanced.
So this is how to balance internally. And with so much going on right now, it's so good to just come back to that breath and just to remember breathing in, swap over to breathe out. Breathe in, swap over to breathe out. And just doing that for what, 2 minutes
Yeah.
even, 2 minutes a day.
And breath is how we came in to this life. Breath is our base, our home. And as I said, you can always, at any moment, no matter how stressed, you can always take a breath. You can always come home to your breathing. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. Try it. Find out what works for you. Build those habits. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if you've never been before, I just want to say, my name's Lee, this is Uma. We have 60 years of yoga and meditation experience between us.
And during those 60 years of experience, we taught public classes and we also taught a lot of corporate classes. So we used to go into hospitals, public trustees.
Jails.
We both taught in male and female jails. We taught in mining companies. So we were able to go into a lot of the corporate sector as well. And so we're just grateful to be here sharing this with you in your home or wherever you are.
Let us know where you are, please. Leave us a hello, or that was great, or that was awful. I liked it better the other day. And as I say, we are going to do a chair yoga early next week. So if you've got friends who can't lay down, who are a bit immobile, let them know. And
balance.
And that we're going to do a balance class as well. We're going to have a couple of days off. I think we're going to jump in the canoe while we still can.
We love to kayak. We love the water.
Get out there. So thank you for joining us, and we'll be back on Monday. And if you'd like to be reminded of when this is on, if you go to Amazing Oil's Facebook page and put the words "remind me," that will all happen automatically. You'll get a little message before we go on. Thank you again. Namaste. Thank you for your time.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Be well and happy. Be free from suffering. We're all in this together.
And breathe.
Breathe on. Have a great weekend. Be kind to each other, because living together is so hard. Have to forgive a lot of each other's idiosyncrasies.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
On that note, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. You can do this over the weekend as well.